In the misty hollows of Appalachia, where the air is thick with pine and the ground hums with the rhythm of tradition, Moonshiners have long relied on a simple yet profound technique to gauge the strength of their illicit spirits. It's not a high-tech gadget or a laboratory test. Instead, it's a time-honored practice that involves a mason jar, a vigorous shake, and a keen eye. But why do Moonshiners shake the jar? The answer lies in the delicate dance between alcohol and water molecules, surface tension, and the art of proofing moonshine. The science behind the shake at its core, the shake test is a visual assessment of the bubbles that form when the jar is agitated. When moonshine is shaken, bubbles rise to the surface. The size and behavior of these bubbles can reveal much about the alcohol content of the liquid. Large bubbles that disappear quickly. These indicate a high alcohol content. The larger bubbles are a result of ethanol's lower surface tension, allowing them to form and dissipate rapidly. Small bubbles that linger. These suggest a lower alcohol content. Water, with its higher surface tension, forms smaller, more persistent bubbles that take longer to pop. This phenomenon occurs because alcohol molecules are less cohesive than water molecules, leading to differences in bubble formation and behavior. A tradition rooted in necessity, origins of the shake test are deeply embedded in the history of moonshining. In the early days, moonshiners lacked access to modern instruments like hydrometers to measure alcohol content. Instead, they relied on their senses and observations. The shake test became a practical method to estimate the proof of their spirits, ensuring they met the desired strength for consumption or sale. Experienced moonshiners could perform this test with remarkable accuracy, often matching the readings of a hydrometer without the need for any equipment. This skill was honed over years of practice and was passed down through generations, becoming a cornerstone of moonshining culture. The role of surface tension. Understanding the science behind the shake test requires a basic grasp of surface tension. Surface tension is the cohesive force between liquid molecules at the surface, causing the liquid to behave like a stretched elastic membrane. Ethanol, alcohol, has a lower surface tension, leading to the formation of larger bubbles that pop quickly. Water exhibits higher surface tension, resulting in smaller, more persistent bubbles. When moonshine is shaken, the differences in surface tension between alcohol and water cause the bubbles to behave differently, providing a visual clue about the alcohol content. Beyond the shake. Other proofing methods. While the shake test is a traditional method, moonshiners have developed other techniques to assess the strength of their spirits. 1. The gunpowder test. Stone of the oldest methods of proofing alcohol. The gunpowder test involves adding a small amount of gunpowder to a bowl and then adding a few drops of the spirit. If the mixture ignites, the alcohol content is considered high enough to be overproof. This test dates back to the 16th century and was used to determine the strength of spirits for taxation purposes too. The hydrometer test. In more recent times, moonshiners have adopted the use of hydrometers, devices that measure the specific gravity of liquids to determine alcohol content. By comparing the density of the moonshine to that of water, the hydrometer provides a precise measurement of alcohol by volume, ABV. This method is widely used in both legal and illegal distilling operations. The importance of proofing. Accurate proofing is crucial for several reasons. Safety. High-proof spirits are flammable and can be dangerous if not handled properly. Ensuring the correct proof helps prevent accidents. Quality control. Consistent proofing ensures that the final product meets the desired strength and flavor profile. Legal compliance. In legal distilling operations, accurate proofing is necessary for tax purposes and to comply with regulations. For moonshiners, especially those operating outside the law, Maintaining the correct proof is essential not only for the quality and safety of their product, but also to avoid detection. The ritual of the shake for many moonshiners. Shaking the jar is more than just a test. It's a ritual. It's a moment of connection to a long line of distillers who have come before them. It's a way to honor tradition and ensure the quality of their craft. The act of shaking the jar, watching the bubbles rise, and interpreting their behavior is a testament to the skill and knowledge passed down through generations. In the world of moonshining, where precision and tradition intertwine, the simple act of shaking a jar holds profound significance. It embodies the essence of a craft that has endured centuries, adapting to changing times while preserving its core principles. Conclusioso. Why do moonshiners shake the jar? It's not just about testing the alcohol content. It's about tradition, science, and the art of distilling. The shake test is a window into the soul of moonshining, a practice that blends chemistry with craftsmanship, history with innovation. In every bubble that rises and pops, there's a story of resilience, ingenuity, and a deep-seated respect for the craft. Deep in the hills of Appalachia, where fog hangs low over pine-covered ridges and secrets run as deep as the hollows, there's an old ritual practiced by men and women who craft something far more potent than sweet tea: moonshine. The process of distilling this clear, high-proof spirit is wrapped in generations of tradition, secrecy, and a touch of outlaw spirit. And in the heart of that ritual is something deceptively simple: the shaking of a mason jar. To the untrained eye, it might just look like someone giving a jar a good shake before pouring a drink. But to a seasoned moonshiner, this shake is a silent conversation with the shine itself. It's how they read the soul of the liquor. Why do moonshiners shake the jar? Because in those swirling bubbles lies the answer to one of the most important questions in the bootlegger's world. What's the proof? The poetry of the prooflets start with the word proof, a term every moonshiner, bootlegger, and modern craft distiller knows by heart. In modern terms, proof is a measure of the alcohol content in a spirit. In the United States, proof is twice the percentage of alcohol by volume, ABE. So a spirit with 50% alcohol is labeled 100 proof. But back before digital hydrometers and government-mandated labels, moonshiners had to rely on other methods to estimate the proof of their brew. They didn't have labs, they had intuition, experience, and one clever, rustic technique: shaking the jar, shake, rattle, and bubble form on the surface. To someone who knows what they're looking at, those bubbles are like a proof meter. Large, quick-popping bubbles mean the shine is high proof. Small, slow-to-disappear bubbles mean the proof is lower. This works because alcohol and water have different surface tensions. Pure alcohol has a lower surface tension than water, which allows it to form larger, faster dispersing bubbles. Water, being heavier and more cohesive, forms tighter bubbles that hang around longer. A well-trained eye can tell the difference between 80 proof and 130 proof just from watching those bubbles swirl and pop. To the outsider, it might look like folklore or superstition. To the moonshiner, it's chemistry, simple, rustic, and effective. A craft born out of necessity long before there were boutique distilleries and moonshine merchandise at Cracker Barrel. Illegal distillers operated in secrecy, out of barns, basements, and deep wood stills, hidden from revenuers, government agents cracking down on untaxed liquor. These outlaws couldn't afford mistakes. If your product was too weak, you'd get a bad reputation. If it was too strong, say, near 180 proof, it could make someone sick or even blind. So testing the proof wasn't just a matter of pride. It was a matter of safety and survival. Without access to tools, they learned to trust their senses. The shake test became the go-to method, passed down like a sacred tradition. Some could even estimate proof to within a few percentage points just by watching the bubbles. The gunpowder test and other tricks of the trade, of course. Shaking the jar wasn't the only trick in the Moonshiners book. There was also the gunpowder test, an old-school method used to check whether a spirit was overproof, above 57.15% alcohol. They'd put a bit of gunpowder in a spoon, soak it in the liquor, and try to light it. If it flared up, the shine was potent enough. If not, it was time to redistill or water it down. This was less about accuracy and more about ballpark numbers. It was dangerous and imprecise, but when your lab is a backwoods shack, you make do. Tradition meets science. Interestingly, modern science backs up what old Moonshiners have always known. Alcohol has a lower surface tension than water. When mixed, the behavior of that mixture, how it forms and releases gas, bubbles, changes depending on the concentration of alcohol. Physicists and chemists have even studied the surface dynamics of ethanol-water mixtures and confirmed what generations of Moonshiners learned with nothing more than their eyes and hands. Bubbles tell the truth. And while modern distilleries use hydrometers, refractometers, and digital alcohol meters, some still appreciate the artistry of the shake. In fact, many legal moonshine brands play up this tradition, advertising their product as authentic or old school, sometimes even with instructions on how to shake and read the bubbles. Moonshine and masculinity. A cultural ritual. Let's not ignore the cultural element of it all. Shaking the jar isn't just about measurement, it's performance, storytelling, and tradition.